Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to look at how to make multiple conditions on an end mission trigger. The purpose for doing something like this is say you've played the Headhunters mission where you can go and kill the 3 enemy officers in any order you want, instead of most missions which are move here, do this, then get a new task or objective, move there, do that, then get a new task or objective, move there, do that, in all one order. For what we're going to look at today, it's going to be you can do them in any order and it doesn't matter. So what we're going to be doing is similar to the Headhunters mission. I'm going to show you how to kill 3 targets and how to fake destroy another one. And that'll be an optional objective. So by the end of the mission, you'll see all these 6 triggers on here. You'll be able to see them and understand what they all do. So the first thing we're going to do is wipe everything. And put our player back down. Of course we want him as a Marine. We'll make him an engineer so he starts with an explosive. And what we're going to do is we're going to kill, in order to end the mission, we're going to kill 2 enemy men, an enemy vehicle, and then we're going to have an optional objective to destroy a building. And since the actual way to destroy a building is broken right now and not working, in ArmA 3 at least, I'm going to show you a sort of ghetto way to do it. So first thing, let's put down the targets that we're going to kill. It's going to be 3 out 4, it's going to be 2 out 4 men and a vehicle. So we'll call them T1, T2, and T3. T1, T2, and then the vehicle, empty, car, Ifrit, and make sure you name it T3. And unlink these guys, and obviously you don't want these guys shooting at you while you're trying to do this, so you're going to disable their ability to do anything. You do that by putting in their init line, this, disable AI, anim, A-N-I-M. And what that does is it makes it so they cannot execute any animations, so they can't move or do anything. And make sure you put it in both of them. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to have trigger for each of them to die. These triggers are actually optional. They won't affect the end mission trigger. But the condition is going to be exclamation point alive T1. So what exclamation point alive does, I think I explained this in another video, but all it means is not alive. So if T1 is not alive, this trigger will fire. And all we're going to have the trigger do is give a hint. Target 1 eliminated. And the way to do hint is hint space and then in quotations the hint you want to pop up when the trigger gets fired. And we're going to go ahead and copy that for all 3. Copy and paste, but then make sure you go back in and change it from T1 to T2 and T3. Alright, now as we kill each one of these or destroy them, those 3 hints will pop up. Let's check it out and make sure that's working so far. There we go. T1 eliminated. Target 2 eliminated. And target 3 eliminated. Explosions! Alright, so those 3 triggers are working. Now, we need an end mission trigger. And we're actually going to do 2 triggers, one to pop up a hint and one to actually end the mission. So, we have to make the trigger recognize that all 3 of those targets have been killed. And it's fairly easy. You just put in parentheses the same conditions as the other trigger. It's exclamation point alive, T1. But in order to make it recognize that all 3 of those targets are dead, you have to put an end in between. So end exclamation point alive T2, And instead of doing end, you can do a double end sign. We should put alive T3. So now this trigger will fire when T1, T2, and T3 are all dead. And what we're going to do is we're going to have two triggers. Put it on a 3-second delay so it doesn't overlap with the other trigger hints. Meaning, hint. Mission complete. All targets eliminated. And the reason we're putting in a 3-second delay is because as soon as you kill that third target, a hint is going to pop up saying target eliminated. And then 3 seconds later, you want the mission complete hint to pop up. If you have it on 0, then those two hints are going to fight each other and might not pop up in the right order. So, okay. And then copy that trigger and paste it. We're going to use the same conditions, but on action, we're going to make it end mission. And instead of making it a 3-second cooldown, make it a 10-second cooldown. So what this is going to do is once these 3 targets are dead, it's going to pop both of these triggers. And make sure it's on a countdown and not timeout. That's not really important for this trigger, but you should understand the difference. Which is countdown, when the trigger is hit, it counts down 3, 2, 1 and fires no matter what. Timeout means, if it was an area trigger, you would have to stand in the trigger for 3 seconds. But when all 3 of those targets are dead, 3 seconds later, it's going to fire a trigger that says mission complete, and then 7 seconds after that, it's going to actually end the mission. So now let's go back in and try it again. Where's my explosive? There we go. Now as soon as I set this off, it'll say target 3 eliminated, and then 3 seconds later it'll say mission complete, and then 7 seconds after that, it'll end the mission. So touch it off. Target 3 eliminated. Mission complete. And mission completed. And that's pretty much it for at least this type of trigger. There are definitely other trigger types and conditions that you'll have to know, and you can put them all on one trigger. You just have to separate them with a semicolon for the end mission trigger. And now I'll show you how to do a building destruction, a ghetto building destruction, because right now the proper way to do it is not working. So what we're going to do is we're going to say the objective is to destroy this OP tower. The actual way to do that in ArmA 2 is to put down a trigger, and you can make it axis A and B is 0. And what you have to do is group the trigger with the building. And when you do that, the trigger activation changes to static object. And all you have to do is hit not present. That's the proper way to do this, but it's currently not working in ArmA 3. So we're going to delete that trigger, and we are going to put down an object with the OP tower that is going to get destroyed when you destroy the OP tower. So we're going to go to Objects and Cargo Box. Yeah, this is the one I used earlier when I was testing this out. Because the cargo box, you can't just destroy it with hand grenades. You have to actually use an explosive charge. So we're going to name the cargo box T4. And we are going to slide it right under the OP tower. And we're going to put down another trigger saying not alive T4. And all that's going to do is pop up a hint. OP destroyed. Now let's go in and see if it works. Alright. It doesn't look too terribly out of place if you didn't know that it wasn't supposed to be there. So say you want to destroy this tower, you just move into it, plant your charge. Pop it. You see the hint says OP destroyed. And that's only because the box was destroyed. And for whatever reason, the box is still here and completely intact. But that doesn't matter. So you could use that for an optional objective. Or we can go ahead and put it on the end mission trigger. So say we want to add T4 to the end mission trigger. So you need not alive, T1, and T2, and T3, and T4. Now we're going to need a second explosive charge, so we'll set ourselves down a box, an ordnance box. And we'll check it out. And I screwed something up, which the script errors are on by default now, which generally sucks, but since I screwed something up, it's letting me know. What did I screw up? I didn't say not alive T4. I just put T4 in there. And I'm sure a lot of you noticed that when I did it, but some of you might not have, just like I didn't. So now it should work. Alright, we didn't get the script error this time. So before, T1, T2, and T3 would end the mission. So that was T1 and T2. This is T3. And that's no longer ending the mission. Oh, I didn't change the trigger that gave you the mission complete message to end the mission. But I did change the actual end mission trigger. As you'll notice, the mission hasn't ended yet. And it's because we need to destroy this OP tower, but what we're really doing is destroying the cargo container. So let's put down another explosive charge. This is OP destroyed. And now, since I changed the end mission trigger to include that objective, the mission should end in a couple seconds. And now we'll go back to this trigger and make sure we add not alive T4. So now that hint saying the mission was complete won't pop up until the OP is destroyed. And by OP, of course, we mean the cargo box. And that concludes today's tutorial. Stand by for another special video a little bit later today. And as usual, thanks for watching. Oh shit!
We're taking fire. Alright, I got him out of there.
Moving in. Stand by, I'm reloading. I'm gonna go in and go right.
Roger.
Actually, you go in first and just spray that whole fucking room down as you're going in.
All contacts down.